In my quest to discover the people behind my harassment and that are also behind the organized harassment all across America, I started doing research after requesting that Citizens Corps on 701 Brazers Avenue in Austin, Texas, refrain from harassing me. Now, I went to their Twitter account a little while ago. It says TX Regionalism. It's also known as TARC. So it has a little at symbol and it says TX Regionalism. And they're called the Texas Association of Regional Councils. And when I look at all their connections, like Americorps, now when you look at the Americorps symbol, on the very left-hand side of their logo of Americorps, you will see a star that's blue, it's colored blue around it. Then you will see the colors red and white. Now, when we look at the symbol of these organizations like Texas Association of Regional Councils, Citizens Corps, we see that their symbol is a symbol that's white in the center, blue, and red. So this means that all these organizations like the National Community Service Commission, I think it's called, you have to go under Wikipedia to see all their connections, and that's not all of it. So they are enormous groups that are tied to the city. They have city offices that are connected to the police, fire, EMS. And in 3 states, I've had serious encounters with people that work from Department of Public Safety, Fire, EMS, and Neighborhood Watch. Now, I can't keep running from my problems, but I have documented the tags of these people that have been harassing me. And when I don't have my camera, I just write down their tag, a description of what they look like, and then I search for their LinkedIn profile. So I started having a tremendous amount of door opening happen to me around 2013, to the point where I hired a private investigator. I did not pursue a case. I didn't see the big deal of it, but I had a tremendous amount of people in law enforcement following me around. I also was followed around by people that always worked like in pairs. It was like a man and a woman. A lot of times they'd be dressed really nice, driving new cars, and wearing shades. Started having house break-ins, food tampering. All these things are degrading. I was harassed in schools. I was harassed in theaters by women, and harassed at social events. This harassment has been going on for years. And the intelligence communities, the agencies, they're not going to investigate, but they'll investigate at the ADL or some woman says she's having an issue. These people will investigate. And what I find strange is that the Department of Justice has not assisted not a single person that has been targeted in the past decade by these groups they fund. In turn, these people that are being targeted through these community-oriented policing groups, community engagement groups, community revitalization groups, are being rejected in the community, being denounced as loony, and are becoming socially isolated. I've had, since day one of moving here, I had a block watch group follow me around with a sticker on their car, pop up persistently and park next to me, along with a group called Citizens Corps. It's very evident that the city even knows what's going on. They've showed many signs. Community policing is also done by nonprofits. It's also done by Health and Human Services. So these are people that are not deputized. They have not been deputized to do any type of work like this. They haven't taken a polygraph test by an intelligence agency to ensure that they will respect our laws. So the goal of this movement appears to be to cause as much psychological damage as possible. I've noted these people entering schools and enrolling schools. And it's not my personal opinion, it's what I know, that the FBI has a history of not only engineering events and plotting events against our country, but also covertly, in a covertly manner, harassing people, knowing that the outcome of harassing marginalized people is always bad. So when we look at the people that run all these associations, all these regional councils, we see that they are packed with judges that are directing these organizations, some of them which are not even really listed. You can't even find them. And so I would say up to about 75% of the people running them that are directing these organizations are judges. And lots of people that are, I'm not trying to be racist, but are predominantly of Anglo descent. So I'm white myself, but these people cannot relate to marginalized people, and if they're just persistently encouraging police to harass people, it's just gonna cause problems in our country. And that's why I'm sharing this information, because I want to be able to enjoy my life and go out without being harassed. Now, when you look at, I have a video online. I forgot the name of it, but it's one of my videos talking about my experiences at FEMA. So you have to go look for it. I have so many different videos. And I mentioned how I went there to seek help, and how a woman exited a building to harass me while I was talking to a joint counterterrorism agent about the harassment, and explained that I was being followed around by a bunch of women wearing white earphones, black clothing, persistently following me around. And what I found extremely strange is that a woman exited a building. Hold on one second. I have a pop-up now on my computer while I'm making this recording. Someone's trying to prevent me from making this recording, and it's a virus. So I'm going to keep going. So I was issued a citation, but the police told me that's where I needed to go. Now, when I went there to seek help, and I was harassed, not by the joint counterterrorism agent, but by someone else that came out of a building where FEMA is located at, where they had just moved their offices to. And what I find quite interesting is that when you look at my videos of being followed around by large groups of white cars, sometimes many of them are the same model, we only find that around these groups that appear to be connected to, like Citizens Corps, Public Safety, DHS. And I was driving around yesterday, and I noticed a building across the street from this Fusion Center complex, that's what I call it, North Lamar in Austin. It was packed with white cars. There was a meeting there. So a lot of these people are with the city, the state, the military, and these are all stakeholders of these groups. So the military and these different organizations, DOD is not aware of what's going on, I don't think. They know that there's community engagement going on, but they don't know that how the severity of how people are targeted in our country. I truly believe that they don't have any idea that their servicemen are being abused through these groups. Now, if someone was to look at my next door page, you would see literally that I'm the only one that's ever treated badly. Everyone is treated very nicely. But if I share something about unusual activity, like people driving around with headlights parked in front of a family's home, I'm treated bad and delusional, like I'm crazy. But when I have the recordings, but where you just don't see their tags because it's dark and my camera doesn't have a lot of pixels and it's not very good quality. So I've upgraded. Now I got some stuff coming on the way I ordered, so I'm going to have more cameras and more stuff to protect myself. So I find it strange that I'm the only person out of the past 300 comments that I can find in the area, that I'm the only person that's been treated disrespectfully by groups of people involved in Neighborhood Watch. And I would not doubt it that if we were to search the names of these people, that many of them are tied to law enforcement, public safety, community engagement, and all these other groups. So I'm going to add 2 clips to this audio so people can actually understand my side of the story, my experiences with the FBI, and how I actually discovered that they were actually involved in gang stalking. And they actually communicate with groups like Citizens Corps, Department of Public Safety. It's all together now, people. So these people are not interested in hearing your side of the story. They're not interested. They're interested in more what their little Anglo friends have to say and what they think. They're not interested in helping you get a plane ticket to another country where you can use your skills. They're not interested in you being empowered to rent and date. I promise you this. If we were to show my information to America's top psychiatrists and top psychologists, they would actually state that excuse me, got the hiccups there for a second. They would actually state that what I'm going through is not only inhumane, but linked to many of the problems that are happening in our country. And we need to speak against it. See, a lot of people don't see what's going on, but I see clearly what is going on. These people and these groups work in your workforce development center sometimes. I've looked at their sites, of these councils. They're connected to your schools. They're connected in many cases, to doctors, to businesses, even realtors. So these movements are based on tracking you around through your cell phone or your car and alerting people all over town about you. So that way you will want to leave here. Not only can I prove this, I've met people at HEB, CVS, Walgreens, and they're like saying, look, these people are pretty much, slandering you. They won't want you in this town. And this is one of the reasons why they don't want you in town. This movement is based on organized harassment. And when you read about Mr. Manchetta's, he's one of America's top immigration attorneys, and he wrote an article about the COPS program and gang stalking, like the new COINTELPRO. And he stated that this movement is to wear a person out, to cause them psychological damage so they commit suicide or just check out. So we actually engineer. We are probably one of the few countries on the earth that has the highest rate of mass shootings. We are probably one of the only countries to actually engineer acts of terrorism against our own government. I need some water. My mouth is a little dry and I had the hiccups earlier, but so try my best. So I went to seek help, and in turn I found out that while talking to the Joint Counterterrorism Agent, that Citizens Corps' name is listed on the Texas Department of Public Safety website. That means they're actually getting information about people, and I'm sure it's being shared with them. This is an organization which is categorized as a non-governmental organization, but which is being managed by Texas Association of Regional Councils, but is coordinated by FEMA, which is under DHS, which is illegal per U.S. codes. So an organization that's built on illegal activity is sure to cause harm to our country. Now, I'm one of the few Americans in this country that you will find on YouTube. I would say there's a handful of people, of other target individuals, and they are starting to see what's going on. And when you look at the backgrounds of these people that direct these groups, when you look at their associations, you will start to see that a person is known by their company. And if you look at these people and you see that you're being harassed by people that are driving new cars constantly, that are harassing you everywhere you go, that's an indication that people within the community are being given information about you. Because when you look and you start to find out these people have no ties to these organizations, but they have friendships on their LinkedIn, Facebook, it starts to become very evident that all these stakeholders and all these groups are working with these other groups to covertly do these activities so they cannot be linked. But if our government was to really dig deep, check cell phones, text messages, I promise you, not only would we be able to crack this code, we would be able to change our government and to be able to ensure that these people and these organizations do not get used to what they're doing and respect our laws, and realize that if you're mobbing someone, you're causing psychological damage. That if you have not communicated with that person, if you haven't spent 5 minutes to communicate with a person, then you have not established trust. When you come and you talk to someone, and you say, hey, look, I'm at work with the city or whatever, and we're concerned. We're hearing reports about you, and we have an obligation to monitor you. And if someone was to come across to me like that, I'd be like, I have no problem with that. I have nothing to hide. I'm being harassed state by state because I'm exposing what's going on, and I would like you to hear my side of the story. These people don't want to do that. They would rather systematically harass you and link our own government to domestic terrorism than to help someone leave the country with a one-way ticket. Because believe me, no one in their right mind would want to live here if they watched my videos and they read my stories and seen what I've been through. No one in their right mind. Any rational human being, if they had the money, they would leave here immediately. Immediately. I will grab my passport and say adios. And it's sad. You know, we're in the land of the free, home of the brave, and I am in a prison. So a lot of people experience this gang stalking, but they don't they don't talk about it. They don't make a big deal of it because they want it to go away. But my case has been extreme, and I think that I truly have one of the most extreme cases in this country of gang stalking. I know there's other people that are going through stuff. They're being attacked with ultrasonic weapons and all types of other types of technologies, which are easy to make, which have been proven to harm people. I've been harmed by them too. I've been systematically terrorized, sleep deprived due to stalking and house break-ins and having family heirlooms destroyed. So these people, what they want to do is they want to deny the harassment. They want to degrade. They want to degrade you. Door opening, women and children, having women in your neighborhood harass you, and you find out you're seeing the same thing as coming from the FBI. I have not a shred of doubt in my mind that the FBI knows what I've gone through, and they know that I've suffered because of it. So these groups want to degrade, deny, and they want to destroy. I would say the first would be to degrade, then destroy, then deny.
I discovered that the FBI is engaged in gang stalking a long time ago. Started having these people, it's always a man and a woman, following me around in new cars. It was nonstop. I was being harassed in schools, threatened on the job, harassed on the job. So I go to Albuquerque thinking, my God, I'm going to have a new start. I'm finally going to be able to start renting. Finally going to start being able to date. And these people started persistently following me around. So what I did was I wanted to show these people, like, hey, I'm a good person. I'm seeking help. I'm not seeking to be harassed. At that time, I had a injury to my elbow. I had nerve damage, and I had a brace on my elbow. When I go to the FBI office in 2015, I had a like one sheet of paper, and they put me in a room. But before I talked to an FBI agent. Once I got in there, I'd say about 2 minutes later, a woman comes out with a brace on her arm, exactly like mine, and they start talking about a paralegal certification. Well, I just got a paralegal certification. Found it so odd. I have a blue brace for my elbow due to an injury, and I just got a paralegal certification. What's the coincidence of someone going to an FBI office that at that time didn't have not even 10 people in there to go there, talk to an FBI agent, and me and the person that's the FBI agent is talking to a lady that's about to leave that has a brace on her same arm as my injured arm, and it just got a paralegal certification. I found it just extremely odd. So when she leaves, they search me, this little metallic little device, and put me in a room, talk to this FBI agent, and I explained to him that I'm being harassed in the community. So he told me, oh, you're delusional, pretty much. Sure, you're not mentally ill. I started getting pissed off. I was behind glass in another room. So I knew right there that these people weren't on my side. So I went back to the house. I started having a bunch of women follow me around nonstop. Now, I don't know if there's a Southern Poverty Law Center group in Albuquerque, but it was a lot of women, and this was nonstop. And when I mean nonstop, it was nonstop. To the point where I was getting pissed. So I seen this lady drive to this building. She parked next to this car. It was like a brown looking car. Where this lady that drove that car worked for the Department of Justice. I was furious. Because I was being systematically harassed in the community. And I was having house break-ins. My food was being tampered with. I was finding these red laser devices that you don't even find in the stores. I was like, what in the hell is this? I mean, I thought it was like some type of military-grade technology, but I did research. It appears that intelligence agencies use this type of stuff to listen to conversations. They have this like laser listening device, and they can actually listen to conversations. So I started having encounters with fire, EMS, these people that were like all part of neighborhood watch groups, and they act just like the Citizens Corps group here. So I started to see, after looking at my videos, a huge amount of people, a large amount of people in this movement that are like in military, intelligence agencies. And I was like, my God, why would a military agency do this to someone? And then I discovered why. When you do research on our fusion centers, you see that they have partnerships with the military. So these people attacking you don't have a partnership with you. You're being attacked by people that cannot relate to you. And in many cases, these people just came off the streets. They don't even know anything. So you're dealing with people, in many cases, with low IQs, maybe above average IQs, don't know who you are. They're just getting paid. They're not people that are going to operate like a normal person where you can try to communicate with them and rationalize with them that you're not the problem. You're not confronting them. They're confronting you. So on the street one day I was driving. Every block, people are being dropped off in black clothing. Every block. Experiencing the harassment at home, experiencing it at school, and I started going to the law library. I was going to help this Christian guy out, and I had to stop because I didn't know what was going on, but I was going to the law library and this lady kept following me around. And I wasn't scared, but it kind of tripped me out because I think, okay, she's following me around, and I see her exit the FBI office. And what's really strange is that before I went there to ask for help, I had an encounter on North Lamar, where the Fusion Center is at. I was talking to a joint counterterrorism agent about being harassed by women wearing white earphones, popping out everywhere I'm going, wearing black clothing, and how I'm having neighbors tell me what's going on. So it happens right then and there. Supposedly the police said that she works, I think it was for AT&T. I guess DOD has a contract with them or something with community engagement. I don't know. So, take a right here. So it's actually right here, this facility right here. This is the facility on North Lamar. So there's this hamburger place named Terry's. And it was on the opposite side, in the middle of this place, like across the buildings, is a huge area full of parking spaces and other buildings. Now there's a place here called R. Terry. Right there, that door is at right there. On that back side, a bunch of people came out, about 40 women. This one woman came out of that building to harass. Then the very next day, I had the same thing happen again. Then the very next day after that, I went to go eat. I had a woman drop off a child with all black clothes, honking the horn. So what I've collected here is a massive paper trail of gang stalkers stalking and harassing me. And this is what I find even more interesting, is that when you look at all these places, they all have a bunch of white vehicles. It's really odd. I want to go over here. I want you guys to see this. Because I've been harassed non-stop by people with white vehicles. And when I mean non-stop, it's been non-stop. I mean, I've suffered here more than any place in my life. I've lost a lot of scholarships. I've lost sleep. I've lost hair loss. And I had it one day where I had blood coming out of my ear because of the stress. I've been going to a cardiologist. Now, I can't go on that property, but I will drive down over here. So I want people to see, where the hell are all these white cars coming from? I've been followed around by a bunch of white cars nonstop. And I just find it strange that this place over here has a bunch of white vehicles. Before I hope I can get in, I'll closed off. So I've been able to link my harassment to the FBI, DHS, and many other organizations. It's been persistent. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to go over there. All I know is this harassment has been persistent. These people that do this crap are working with locals, people that they can trust. I have gone for walks and then watched people drop off people wearing black clothes in large groups. Even when I'm with relatives from out of town, I mean, this shit's really sick. I can't go to work. I can't just go out on a date without being harassed. These people will actually go out of their way to harass me. And this is the really sad thing about these people, is that they would dare expose our government and link our government to acts which medical science has linked to horrific stuff. Community mobbing, all this stuff is horrible. It leads to problems. And it's being promoted from within our system. The terrorists, they're not overseas, hiding in the desert. The bad guys, unfortunately, have made their way into our intelligence community, our military. A lot of these people are really good. Our servicemen are good people, but unfortunately we got some rotten eggs. And this movement is being promoted, enforced through our own system. Now, we need to be happy that we have President Trump. He's flushing the freaking toilet bowl. He's doing what Obama should have done a long time ago. He knows that a lot of these programs are bad news. Now I'm going to share something else. There's a police station right here. And I had a really strange experience here that I want to share. Hold on one second. Now, next door to this place, I think it's called a COPS office. And I came here one day, I did an experiment, because I wanted to see if I was going to be harassed. So I parked my car, was looking for a CDL handbook, a CDL manual. I have a CDL license, and I just wanted to get one. But the main reason was that I wanted to see if I was going to be harassed. And when I came here, this guy came out. Real skinny guy, trying to walk like he's a big guy. I kind of laughed at him. I made sure he didn't see out tinted windows. And I went back to my car. He kept looking at me like he had a problem. And I started to do more research. I decided every time I had a doctor's appointment, I'll park my car and go to a park down the road and just meditate. Find some place that there's no one around, not one car. And this is how sick this program is. A car dropped off a woman and a man to walk by where I was at. They actually came to the area I was at. The man walked towards me to actually harass me. Then I go to the city to complain. No comments. I find out that the neighborhood watch where I'm at is tied to the Fusion Center. The same organizations I'm trying to get away from. So I have spent literally over 12 years of not dating because of this crap. Going to work to be harassed, going online to be harassed, nonstop. And when I called the FBI main office, guess what? They hung up on me 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead and share what I did wrong. I felt so violated for being harassed so much that I called back. And I said that, you guys have hung up on me 3 times and I'm asking for help. The 4th time, I didn't slam it, I hung it up. And after that, I started to see where my computer attacks were coming from all these years. So I've been attacked from people from within our system. I'm not the most perfect person. But if I call and say, look, Uncle Sam, not literally, you know what I'm talking about, I call and say, look, I got Americans out here attacking me, harming me, threatening me, spitting at me, wherever I'm going, harassing me. And I'm not looking for a problem, I'm asking for help. But you're turning your back on me. You're slamming the phone on me 3 times. And then when I read the reports from other targeted individuals, I find out they're all saying the same thing. They're calling the FBI, the phone, they're hanging up on them, slamming the phone on them, time after time. Okay, now I'm adding some more stuff to this video. I wanted to mention that when I went to talk to the Joint Counterterrorism agent, it was real nice to me. But before I went there, I went to I think it was the Department of Safety, I think that's what it's called. Anyways, I had these two people, a guy and a girl. They had to be under 26 years old, and they were standing at the door. Well, months later, I had seen those same two people at the FBI office standing in front of the door. Then I had seen this lady exit that office. She was the same lady that had been following me around the University of Austin area, like where they had a law library. So it became apparent. She was wearing a black shirt all the time. I'm being followed around by people wearing black shirts at Citizens Corps and Neighbor Watch groups. So it's very apparent that DOJ, which pretty much runs the FBI, all these agencies know what's going on. This gang stalking program is really sick. I've spent literally thousands of hours documenting women harass me in 2 states nonstop. I mean, I cannot believe what these agencies do. We literally engineer events, like what Steven Seagal stated a while back. He said that you believe that a lot of things that happen here are engineered, and they are. Just like we see chemtrails and all this stuff. So we actually engineer events, and the more you tell these people to stop, the more they do it. Now, if someone is beating you, you tell them to stop and they won't stop. You go to the police and they can't help. No one will help. What do you think happens in those situations? Now, fortunately, I'm a good person. I'm a strong-willed person, but I've learned my lesson about going to school in America because the only thing I've received is death threats, threats of bombings, having people coming with like another woman wearing like white clothes, black pants, and shades, saying, "Hey, don't come to school here no more." So I'm being harassed everywhere I go. I'm being harassed on job sites. Now, what idiot would want to go to work to be harassed? It makes no sense. What idiot would want to live in a place where you're just going to be harassed nonstop? It just makes no sense. So hopefully I'll be able to get some money and leave this country. That's my only goal. I go to school so I can leave. I don't go to school so I can stay here, rent, work, and date. I mean, those are no longer my dreams. Most people, they work so they can go out to a nightclub once a week that are around my age. They want to go out and meet women. I've been here a year and a half. I haven't gone out nowhere really because I'm going out to be harassed, to be followed and mobbed. And I learned my lesson from what I experienced in Albuquerque. I moved here to escape that harassment. And guess what? It happened by times 100 when I came here. So these people don't stop. If you gave me a couple $1,000,000 right now, these scumbags probably would not stop harassing me. That's how sick this movement is.